I think if you ask anybody who's played for a long time, the most satisfying thing is wheedling out those answers that you don't actually know the answer to, or that you only half know the answer to, and that you and your teammate can combine to reach the right answer.
Glad to have Daoud Jackson with us. Daoud is here to talk about a new competition from the makers of Mimir as well. We have a new contest and quite a different type of contest. Daoud, could you tell us a bit about it?
So one of the things with Quiz Bowl, which is sort of my first love quizzing wise, I think one of the things with it is that traditionally the way it's been presented or available for people to play is in like marathon tournaments where you travel a long way at the weekend. People like playing team quiz, and there is a lot of team quiz options out there, but there's not really one for teams to actually play Quiz Bowl at the moment. So we saw that there was a gap in sort of how Quiz Bowl's delivered, and we wanted to change that by setting up a league that allowed people who don't always have the chance, or if you've got a family or you're busy, you can't spare 8 hours to drive somewhere to play a tournament all day, that you can play a short game, 40 minutes, an accessible level if you haven't played before, and that like it's something that's very friendly on a weekly basis.
So there's been a lot of people during lockdown and the pandemic who've got into quiz and got top level quiz for the first time. They might not know how you play Quiz Bowl. Could you tell us a little bit about the format and what people can expect?
So Quiz Bowl for the Brits is a little bit like University Challenge, and if you're American, it's a little bit like Jeopardy with teams. So the questions are, you have starter questions where people buzz in when they know the answer, and then if you get it correct, your team gets a bonus. The questions tend to be about 5 or 6 lines long, which seems very long, but that's so that the clues at the start are harder and the clues at the end are easier. And that means that you buzz in when you know the answers. So if you know more about that topic, you're likely to buzz in earlier. And then if you know less, you buzz in later. So it sorts out who knows more about that topic in that way. It is fun. I think the key thing is that it's like dynamic, it's fast moving, and it's also, you don't have to answer any particular question. That's one thing that I think is quite sort of underappreciated about Quiz Bowl. If there's something that you don't know anything about, you can sit there with your thumbs crossed and wait for the next one, which is in like a minute's time, which is a bit more forgiving than I think a lot of the league formats sometimes, where you're sat on your lonesome and you don't know who the manager of Manchester United is or whatever, and you actually have to answer that question. I think you can tap out for questions as well, which is nice about Quiz Bowl.
And once you've buzzed in, then there's conferring. So again, that's something we don't get in some of the other team formats, is the ability to bounce off your teammates and come up with an answer that perhaps any one of you might not have got on their own, but together you can come to that answer. Yeah, no, I think definitely when I started playing Quiz Bowl, I would have enjoyed the toss-ups more and the starter questions more. I think if you ask anybody who's played for a long time, the most satisfying thing is wheedling out those answers that you don't actually know the answer to, or that you only half know the answer to, and that you and your teammate can combine to reach the right answer. So that thing that's on the tip of your tongue can be spluttering out all the hints that you've gotten. If somebody could knock that to the back of the net, then that's very satisfying. Yeah, so we know that there's quite a healthy student quiz scene, and they play the Quiz Bowl format. Yeah. How is this going to compare in terms of subject matter? Is it going to be academic in the way that perhaps the student ones are, or is there going to be a slight shift in the content? Yeah, so the aim is for it to be mostly academic, but there will be slightly more lowbrow content in this than you might be traditionally used to in a Quiz Bowl set. So most academic Quiz Bowl sets probably have one or maybe half a lowbrow question in each set of 20. In this, we're going to have about 20% lowbrow content. So I think that also means that if you want to start playing Quiz Bowl, but you think, actually all of these topics are a little bit scary, I don't quite know my way in, then I think hopefully that gives people a foothold so you can jump off from that and then test yourself on some other stuff as well. So I think it's a bit of both, and that's nice to have the rough with the smooth, as it were. Okay, so this is really exciting development, and in a way I'm surprised it's taken this long, but you know, there's only so many hours in the day to organize things. When is it starting, and how can people get involved?
So you can find all of the information at qbleague.org. There's still time to register. If you don't have a team, what you can do is you can sign up as a free agent and send us an email, and we can help make you into a team. So if you're new to it, you think, oh, I don't have 4 other friends who are going to enjoy this, and you're completely new, then we can find your team. And yeah, it'll be great fun. That's a nice way to meet some new people. So registration is now open, and registration for the first season closes on the 27th of June. And the first week starts at the start of July, on the 5th of July. And that'll run until basically the start of September. So it's 9 weeks. There'll be 10 teams in each division, maybe with a little bit of finagling, because we want, depending on what number we get to. But the plan is 9 weeks at the moment, and then we'll see where we are after season 1. Hopefully lots of satisfied players and happy teams.
Indeed. Well, I hope it's going to be a big success, not least because I'm intending to be playing on a team. So I want to be experiencing myself. I do love a good buzzer quiz. So all the best with it to you and the team behind this initiative. Hope it's successful. I look forward to seeing how it goes and reporting on it in the future.
Yes, fingers crossed. It's very exciting. And I want to thank everyone who's been involved, because it's these things are always there's a lot of work involved behind the scenes. So yeah, thanks to everyone who's involved.